New day, guys. Last place I left off is we had the ramps welded on. Right now they look pretty high off the ground, but that's because the front end is down. But anyway, they might get cut off again. At full ride height, they ended up being about 6 inches off the ground at level ground. Probably gonna cut them off and yeah, come on. Yeah. Cut them off, and I'll probably put a hinge right here so they can tilt up a little bit. I'll build a little shark tooth and a notch so it jumps down to let them lower. So either that, or I put the rear ramps on a set of airbags and put another valve in the system and just lift and lower at will. I don't know. We'll find out. Either way, I think they're going to come off. Aside from that, the ramps do sit perfectly when the suspension is all the way aired out. Right now it's, like I said, all the way aired up. That's a full airbag, and I don't want to have to ride this thing around at full ride height because it's not good on the airbags, for one, and it'll probably be pretty bouncy. I am going to also incorporate some shocks into it so it doesn't bounce all over the place. What else are we doing today? So I'm on my vacation, so here I am working in the garage. I picked up some tubes. Yeah, last time we put these supports up here. I picked up these tubes. They're 1.5 by 1.5, 1/8 inch wall. All my air lines and my wiring are going to run through them. Right up to the back. I put a tail light right here at the very back of the flat deck portion of it. So yeah, these are in place on this side anyway. Gotta weld them on. Oh, and here I did put some trap doors. Those trap doors there, they will be access ports to the airbags, and in case I need to service them. Otherwise, I have about an inch of clearance here to service that, and well, that's just not going to happen. So I got these all welded into place. Set my deck down on top there, my runner. I got our removable covers. Right now they're removable. I need to figure out a hinge so I can just simply flip them up and pop them back down. Something that doesn't protrude higher than the deck itself. So that's going to be the interesting part there. But lots of access to work on airbags and components. Let's see. There we go. There's the tube, the square tube for the airlines and the wiring to come through. Driver's side, there may not be a lot of wiring coming through it, or sorry, passenger side. No, you know what? There might be the same amount on each side since I've got the tubes there anyway. So I'll run wiring right back to each side here for the tail lights. There'll be a marker light in front as well. 3 lights in the middle on the back. So I talked about putting a channel between these ramps, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think we're just going to go right my 3 lights right on the back main frame for reasons, you know, just because. So yeah, she's coming along. I have this side to do now, and I'll get on that. I may not record much of it just because you've seen the most of it on that side already. So we're on the driver's side now. I've got all these tubes welded in place. We're going to go on to drilling, cutting the access hole in here. Both of them. So I've marked out where it needs to be on both of these. I'm going to take a plasma cutter, pierce a hole in each corner, and then connect the dots using a flat bar as a straight edge to run the plasma cutter across. Adversely, you could drill a hole in each corner and connect the dots with a zip cut on your grinder, and I've done that way too many times. This is usually just a little faster with a plasma cutter, but you've got to go and clean the edges up afterwards with the grinder. So I mean, depending on what you're doing, sometimes it's 6 of one and half dozen of the others. But I've got a plasma cutter here and I'm going to use it. Well, we got holes cut out now. What I found recently though is this plasma started cutting on a crazy angle. I don't know if you can see it. This is only 3/16, so I don't know, a lot of angle. Yeah, hard to see, but hold that up, maybe you can see that, how much of an angle that's on. So that's holding that that torch pretty much straight up and down. You can see the curve, crazy amount of curve. So now, granted, it is only a Amazon special plasma cutter. So yeah, it's doing great for that, but it was just recently that this started after a set of new consumables, also from Amazon. If you guys got any suggestions on how to cure that, I'm all ears. I'm listening. So now I got to clean these, clean all the slag off the back side of these. Flip this sheet over, and that sheet there is probably, I'm guessing 180, 200 pounds. Guys, I'm not a small guy, and this thing gets heavy to move around. So that's next on the plan, and I'll put some backing plates under here. So these filler plates can sit in there, same thing as I did on the other side. And yeah, I'm still using the trailer as my junk storage, so I don't have to move it around the yard anytime I want to mow the lawn. And after that, we're going to be back onto these rear sections that are going to be the rear filler pieces here. I'm pretty sure I can just cut them and weld them on. There's nothing that has to go underneath them. I'm getting Panhard bar brackets cut from my boss, because we've got a CNC plasma at work. So he's going to cut me some Panhard bar brackets, and I got to weld them on before I weld this plate on, just because it makes it easier working from up top than crawling underneath and going under. Sometimes you really do just get better results out of a zip cut. Sometimes if you got a good plasma, you can get real good results out of that. But I tried to save myself some grinding, because I hate grinding. So I tried to save myself some zip cutting, but I ended up grinding instead. So like I said, 6 of one and half dozen of the other sometimes. Now I'm going to flip this over, weld my little backing plates in, and keep on going with this. Oh, there they are. We got backing plates welded onto these ones. Oh, I missed a weld. All right, well, I'll get that in a second here. But yeah, they're on there. I can flip this thing back over and pretty much wait until I get my panhard bar brackets before I can weld that sheet on and that sheet on. But in the meantime, I can put it in place. I can trim those two to fit. They're much more manageable to work with, and keep on going that way a little bit. So we got the rear panels trimmed out and tacked into place. I'm going to give them a weld here in a couple minutes. The rest, like I said, it's looking pretty good right now. Waiting on panhard bar brackets before I can weld my top pieces in, but also have to figure out a hinge system for these filler plates before I can weld anything down permanent too, because there's just no way to get at any bolts underneath there after they're welded in. Before I get too far, I'm going to do some measuring here and figure out where I want to put my stitch welds. So, thinking maybe a 10-3, 10 inches. I got 3 inches of weld. Yeah, 10-3 will look good. See if I can, see if you guys can see that or not. So, the first weld will be 1.5 inches. You get to 10 inches and you got 1.5 inches on either side of 10 inches. Gets to 20 inches, 1.5 inches either side of 20. So 3 inches for every 10 inches. Should look pretty good all the way down. This section here, I mean, I'm probably going to have, probably 8 inches of weld almost between the two joining pieces. That seam is going to be welded solid, both sides, but yeah. See if I can get that all in there again where I had you. And we'll do some welding. We'll mark at the back too. I think the back I'm going to weld solid, but obviously not all at once. Same with that side. got about 2 5-inch stitch welds here. I've got 2 more to do after I play with this, so I'll do the same thing here. Start on that side, that'll mark this side up as well with that 10-3 pattern. Grinder. Back over to this side, weld my last 2 stitch welds, and I'll make my way to that side. there you have it. Oh, that's not where I wanted that. All right, let's try that again. There you have it. That's about as far as I can go today, aside from building some hinge pieces, and it's going to take a little brain power to figure that out. Sometimes I have lots, sometimes I have very little. You guys have already seen that much. So that's that. Sometimes you got to figure things out your own way.